first of all, Jacob Kirkman is the instrument maker for the king, so they're rare there. But these also cost about 3 years' wages of the average worker, so not that many of them survive to this day. This is one of the few that does. This is made in 1758 in London. We still use it pretty much every day whenever musicians get a chance.
Who would have played it?
Peter Pelham would have been, at least when Lord Dunmore was governor and Lord Balthazar.
So the children, the girls didn't learn to play the harpsichord?
They did, but they're mostly learning on the piano forte, but they can come down and play it.
Excuse me for interrupting.
This instrument here is also original. This is a bureau organ. There's only a couple of these left in the world. This middle part is actually the keyboard, and that pedal in the front you pump, it moves the bellows, allows air to flow across the pipes. This makes an amazing sound. Actually, when Queen Elizabeth II was in this room to celebrate Virginia's 400th anniversary back in 2007, she was so mesmerized by this thing, she came over and leaned on it, just watching it being played for a good 10 minutes, which kind of upset the curators a little bit. But when you're the Queen, I guess you can pretty much do whatever you want. So that's a very unique item. As is that that machine right behind you there at the center window. That is a warming machine. That's a new invention of the time. You put a fire in that, it heats the iron. Once the iron gets hot, that'll radiate heat out for hours. Those are very efficient. So much so that Benjamin Franklin took this design and tweaked it a little bit to come out with his own version of what we know today as a Franklin stone. So this is the precursor to that. On the front of that, you see the coat of arms of Lord Botetourt. He's the governor that remodeled these rooms. He installed the Wilton carpet, the warming machines. He also gifted the portraits that you see on the far side of the wall. On the right is King George III. On the left is his wife, Queen Charlotte. Both of these are painted by a gentleman named Allan Ramsay. He's the official court portrait maker. He paints the originals. Today those hang in Buckingham Palace. But he's given a license to make about 200 copies of these to send out to important people. These are 2 of the original copies. We have another set down the street at the Capitol building. And if you are keeping track of the modern royal family, the 2 children that are recently born, George and Charlotte, this is who they're named for. They just happen to be king and queen at the time of the American Revolution. And if you can backtrack 100 years from the reign of these 2, back to the 1660s, and look at this back wall, and come to these 2. On the right is King Charles II. He's the Restoration King. So during the English Civil War, he's in exile for a little while. But Virginia said we're a royal colony, we have a royal charter, we're going to remain loyal to the king even if he's not sitting on the throne. When he's restored to the throne, he honors Virginia for our loyalty by giving us the name his Old Dominion. And if you're familiar with Virginia, our nickname to this day is the Old Dominion State. We get that from King Charles II. But his wife is on the other side of the door from him. Her name is Catherine of Braganza. She's Portuguese and Catholic. This is why she's not given the title of Queen. At this point, we can't risk having a Catholic sitting on the throne in England. Never mind the fact that when Charles II dies, he asks for last rites. So we think that he's a secret Catholic. So that's okay. Her dowry gives England free trade with Portugal. Portugal, in turn, has free trade with India. So growing up, she's become accustomed to drinking tea. She introduces that custom to the English. You can see how well it's evolved. So she doesn't really need title queen to be remembered fondly in the British Isles. She gave him tea. But if you're in this room, it's going to be for a ball or a dance or something of the sort. And actually, where you're all standing now is where the dancing takes place. So at the higher end of society, you and your partner, by yourselves, are going to dance a minuet down the middle row. The rest of us are going to stand by and watch your feet. And all we're waiting for you to do is make a mistake, because we're going to ridicule you about it a little bit later. Do you have a question?
On this rug?
On this carpet, yes.
It looked like this?
It did. It's Wilton carpet installed under Lord Botetourt. He wasn't really too concerned about how much you shocked your partner from static electricity. He's more concerned about how much money it costs to put down. So he's trying to show off his wealth whenever he gets the opportunity. And Wilton carpet in a ballroom shows that off perfectly. But any questions about anything you see in this room?
Yes, I'm just curious, that way you turn cut a rug or is that something?
You know, could be. Don't actually know. Any other questions? There's one more room just on the other side of this door here. That's the supper room. That's where you're going to be served refreshments if you're attending one of these ballroom parties. Pretty common for these to last 10 to 12 hours, so you're definitely going to need to re-energize yourself. So please never make a mistake of confusing the Virginian with the New England. We are not Puritans. We really like to have a good time. I think a 12-hour party shows that. But as you're going in, compare the color on the walls in here to the color on the walls in there.
This is prehistoric included stuff.
If you do, you will recognize this room. It was used as the antechamber for the throne room on the first episode of this past season. The reason they chose it is because they didn't have to put a green screen up. It naturally comes with one. And by the way, that entire show is filmed within a 10-mile radius of Williamsburg, but it's set completely in Setauket, New York. So if you ever watch it, don't go too much with the historic relevance. Just it's a good show to watch. But again, this is the supper room. It's where you're going to be served those refreshments that will be on tables on either side, and you can get your food and drink, back out and finish dancing and go out into the gardens if you like. But what you probably noticed about this room is it's incredibly green, and the ballroom is very blue. And these are the only two rooms in the house that we know for sure the colors that they were in the 18th century. And we know this because Lord Bottletopt happened to die in the middle of renovations. And when a manifestation dies, you take an inventory of everything he leaves in the house at the moment of death, down to his toothbrush, which there were 6 of. Of course, that's probably more related to the 24 pounds of chocolate he left by his bed than anything else. But in this room, there were rolls of green paper. In the ballroom, it was blue. When we restored the palace, we took his death inventory over to England, to the guild halls where the original records are kept, found the order, which had samples and the recipe for the paint color. So what you see is the actual color that was here on the walls in the 18th century. This is used very heavily in the gentry class, especially here in the South. So if you go up to Mount Vernon, you'll recognize it. It's hanging in their dining room. And again, this is paper. The reason for that being the lime and the plasterwork, once you get that wet with the paint, it's going to start to eat through it. So you need to put another medium down, which would be paper in this case. Folks, have any questions about anything you saw here in the house? Everybody been to the hedge maze yet?
No.
You know what that is? It's a big maze made out of bushes. You're welcome to explore. It's actually a copy of the one at Hampton Court Palace. So when I go ahead and open these doors, you're welcome to head out. The maze is going to be straight ahead down this walkway and over to the left. But again, there's 10 acres to explore. There's a cemetery out there. There's restrooms over to the right. But I'll stay right here for a while if you have any questions about anything.